Hello everybody, it is Tuesday and we're going to share some tips with you today based on doTERRA's BOGO special of spearmint and peppermint. But first of all, I wanted to say how much I love BOGO week because it's a great time to be able to get some oils at a great price and to be able to try some new oils and add to your collection. So anyways, I got my awesome husband here with me who's going to share some of his insights on spearmint and peppermint as well. So let's talk first about spearmint and what it can do to support our bodies and our environments and the different things. I was just joking around before we started that my 19-year-old son was doing the dishes, and it's because we were diffusing the spearmint, and I added wild orange and Douglas fir, which is a really awesome combination. So anybody who wants their kids doing dishes, get spearmint. I think it helps.
It really gets them going.
So what are some ways to use spearmint?
Well, other than getting dishes done, I think that's worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, a couple of things that spearmint are good for, similar to peppermint, and is that it helps get the mind invigorated. It's refreshing. It actually smells really good. I told her when I walked in the room I didn't smell the Douglas fir or the wild orange. All I smelled was the spearmint, and maybe that means I need some invigoration.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I love spearmint because some of the things that I've read and experienced is that it's a lot like peppermint in that it is invigorating, it's uplifting, it's great for respiratory support. I read also that it's great for digestive support. So it's one that you can, again, put in your diffuser, you can rub it on your tummy. And for you ladies out there, I read that it's really great for your period and for menstruation if it's slow or sluggish or it's really heavy. So anyways, try adding that over your abdomen. That's a nice, helpful hint.
It's also calming like peppermint for digestion. If you take it in a capsule, it supposedly helps with IBS.
Awesome. And then when we're done, I have a really awesome link. A friend of mine, she shared Dr. Stoyer. He has a mouthwash recipe that he uses that includes the spearmint. And I thought, ooh, that would make for a really yummy mouthwash to do spearmint.
One thing you might want to be aware of if you haven't ever used spearmint oil before is it doesn't taste like it smells. Or peppermint sometimes has a sweet taste and you can just put it directly in your mouth. You might want to put a little bit of, try less content or less amount of spearmint, or give it a little teeny taste before you go dropping a few drops in your mouth, because it is quite strong and it doesn't taste like the spearmint gum or mint as you would think.
Yeah, it smells just like it though.
Yeah, it smells great.
Okay, so now peppermint. I love peppermint. It is one of those oils that is really versatile and it has a ton of different uses. And so I love it. Like one of the main reasons that I use it is I love it to use it to freshen my breath. I guess you could do the same thing with spearmint. But I'll just put a little bit on my tongue if I'm going out or going to be around people. I like to use it to freshen my breath. My favorite way to use it is in the afternoon, especially when I feel kind of sluggish or tired. I like to add the peppermint and wild orange together just as a nice pick-me-up. Again, that's something you could do with peppermint as well. Or the spearmint is the spearmint and wild orange. Yeah. How do you like to use peppermint?
My favorite are the beadlets. I always have a little tube of the beadlets in the car or in my pocket at church or wherever I'm at. I always have those around because it's very convenient. I know Tiffany likes better. She does the peppermint lick. She'll put a drop on her hand and just lick it like that, which works well, but I don't know. I think I just like the beadlets best. As far as using it to freshen my breath, but peppermint has a bunch of other ways of using. I mean, you just pick up the book and start looking through it. There's everything from mental alertness to digestion to help with nerves. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. I like to use it too for headaches. So like, if I feel that tension coming on, I'll just take a little bit of peppermint and I'll rub it on my forehead, temples, back of my neck. Or if I have a lot of tension, if it's been a really stressful day, I don't know about you guys, if maybe none of you guys have any stress in your life, but if you do have stress in your life, I love to do the peppermint on my shoulders and it feels really cool and tingly. And then anytime I have sore muscles, if I have a, sore muscle from, I don't know, yoga or, I don't know, whatever I do that uses my muscles. Peppermint is great for that. It's very cooling, very soothing. And because it's cooling, here's another kind of fun tip, is because it's cooling, again, women, if you're dealing with hot flashes at all, it's very, very cooling. In fact, I was at a class the other night and a woman was having hot flash. And so I said, oh, let's get peppermint. So she put it on, rubbed it on her shoulders and her chest, and it really helped to cool her down. And then too, I mean, it's not even just for women, but also for men. If we've got athletes that are out there, or it's hot summertime, you can use peppermint as a natural coolant to help cool your body down.
Yeah, two other things I wanted to bring up about peppermint. Number one, it's almost, 55 degrees outside in Idaho this time of year, which is great. It makes me want to get out and start working in the garden. But usually in springtime, we find that a lot of ants want to come into our home, and there'll be a little line of them by the door going to the window or something. And peppermint is great at deterring not just ants, but spiders and pretty much all insects. So if you put some in, mice, put some in a spritzer bottle with some water and shake it up and spray, around the frames of the doors and windows, and that helps ants stay away or stay out of the house. Or if they're already in the house, it prevents them from coming back.
Yep, and something else we did a couple weeks ago when we were driving, we took the long drive from Idaho down to California, and we used peppermint just as a way to kind of stay up, wake, and refreshed, and clean the air.
Clean the air. We had 7 people in the car. Some of the family don't shower too often. No, I'm kidding. But one thing you got to be careful with, I used peppermint a couple, 2 or 3 years ago to stay awake on a drive, and put some across my forehead, and I think I was a little stuffy, so I put some across the bridge of my nose, and had to have Tiffany steer the car because my eyes got the peppermint fumes in them and I couldn't see.
Strong stuff.
Yeah, strong stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of strong stuff, though, the last little bit I want to share is probably has no application whatsoever to what we use the essential oils for, but it's just interesting.
Okay.
So in the Modern Essentials book, you have the single oils that goes through different properties and things, and at the end of the section, or at the end of the description of the oils, it has all these research articles, right? Little fine print, and peppermint on page 152 in the 7th edition of the Modern Essentials Guide has 2 research articles that I thought were interesting.
Do tell.
Yeah, you want to find out what it was?
Yes.
So, I don't know how many of you are Marvel fans. I just watched Doctor Strange on the cruise ship a couple, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Marvel's pretty fun. The Avengers, the Incredible Hulk, Thor, all those guys. But there are 2 articles, research done on peppermint oil that could have saved Bruce Banner. You know who Bruce Banner is?
Nope.
Bruce Banner was the genius scientist who was radiated with gamma radiation, and now every time he gets ticked off, he turns into the Incredible Hulk. Okay,
Learn something new every day.
Which, in and of itself, is pretty amazing. Being the Hulk would be pretty awesome. But if you ever watch those movies, he's very despondent. He likes to be alone. He's secluded. He doesn't like interacting with people, much like me. But come to find out, peppermint oil, if Bruce Banner would have been using peppermint oil, his body would have been able to fight off the gamma radiation and not turn him into the Incredible Hulk. Listen, this says right here in the book.
Okay, here you go.
It doesn't mention the Hulk necessarily, but this is what it says. In mice, here we go.
There you go.
In mice exposed to whole body gamma radiation, only 17% of the mice who had been fed peppermint oil died, whereas 100% of the mice who did not receive peppermint oil did die. Wow.
There you go.
Next statement. It was also found that mice pre-fed peppermint oil were able to return their blood cell levels to normal after 30 days, while the control mice who were not fed peppermint oil subsequently died. So this is a great example. A great example of using the oils preventatively, because you don't know if you're ever going to be exposed to an experimental bomb that gives off a ton of gamma radiation. So my recommendation to you would be always use peppermint oil just in case there's gamma radiation in your office or your home or your workspace.
So there you have it. Use your peppermint and spearmint every day. And today, if you buy spearmint, you get peppermint for free. And you can purchase up to 6 on your account. You may need 6 if you're the Hulk.
If you don't want to turn into the Hulk.
There you go. There you go. So anyways, there's our Tuesday tip. have an amazing day and enjoy this amazing BOGO week. And I'm going to be sharing some extra tips and recipes on this link, so stay tuned.
You're welcome, Emily.
Yeah, and thank you.
I got your back.
Thanks, everybody.